Hey everybody, welcome to Strumming with Christopher. I'm Christopher Gallegos, librarian for Monterey County Free Library's Gonzales branch. Thank you all for joining me on another guitar journey. So last episode I talked about major bar chord shapes, and I showed you two new open chord shapes, an E major and an A major. And then I showed you how to take these two shapes and instead of using your first three fingers, switch that to using your, I guess your last three fingers, and how to move those shapes around the fretboard so that you have a little bit more freedom and you're not just stuck up here. So yeah, I did an overview of that, talked to you about how to roll your index finger in a little bit so that the bony part of your finger is near the fret, not on the fret itself, but near it, because you're using your finger to basically make the guitar neck shorter as you move this shape around. So today I want to show you some minor bar chord shapes, and we already know these two shapes from previous episodes. So that would be an A minor shape and an E minor shape. Okay, so in those cases we normally play the open chords with our first three fingers. We're going to learn how to play them with our last three fingers. That sounds weird when I say it like that, but first basic shape I want you to learn so you can learn how to move it around is your A minor. So we already know this, but we're just going to use different fingers to fret it. So in this case, go ahead and start with your middle finger, and that's going to be on the first fret on the B string. And then you're going to take your pinky and go to the G string, second fret. And then ring finger is going to go on the D string, second fret as well. Okay. So that's an A minor shape. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start moving the shape down, and you're going to have your index finger, there's no skip here, there's no jumping of a fret like some bar chord shapes. Your bar chord is going to be right next to the fingers that are fretting. So say you wanted to move down to one of my favorite chords, a C minor chord, for example. We have our open A minor, and then we move down to a C minor, spooky chord. So C minor, same A minor chord shape I just did up here, open, but I move down to the third fret. So always think of your bar, when you're thinking of what fret you're going to move to, think of your barring finger, okay? Because in this case, we're not playing the low E string at all, but the bass note on the A string is kind of setting the tone here. So my bar is on the third fret, and pretty soon, we can start learning about chord progressions and things like that, but we're still going to give you some tools in your toolbox here as we get ready to make songs. So C minor is my bars on the third fret here. Go down to the fifth fret, it's a D minor. Go down to the seventh fret, E minor. So same general idea as what we learned with the major bar chords. You're just taking this A minor shape and you're moving the shape around, but you have to use your index finger to bar these bottom five strings with the A minor shape. And that allows you to move this A minor shape all over the neck of the guitar. So the next minor chord shape is one that we already actually know too. First chord you ever learned with me here, E minor. In this case, we're not going to be using our first two fingers. We're going to be using our ring finger and our pinky. And so our basic shape, when we're thinking in terms of a bar chord, is pinky on the D string, second fret, ring finger on the A string, second fret. So with this one, when you start moving this shape around, you want to have a space of one fret in between the fretting fingers and your bar. So it would look like this. And a lot of times I find myself putting my middle finger on top of my bar, just because when you're barring this low E string, it takes a lot of strength. But also for the purposes of this, you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So there's a distance of one fret. So say I'm playing an open E minor, and I want to go to a G minor. I move my bar to fret 3. A minor and move it down to fret 5, back to G minor, back to A minor, sounds really, really good if you want to start learning how to switch. I talked about this with the major chords a little bit. If you want to learn how to switch between the two different shapes, you'd do that in an open chord shape. You'd play an E minor and an A minor. If you want to have that same sound, but move it and get different notes, for example, we'll do a G minor to a C minor. With this series of shapes, it's cool because you can get a really nice sound switching between two chords, the E minor shape, and then moving directly down to the A minor shape that would be below it. So you're not moving a lot. You're just moving, for example, on the 3rd fret, this 3rd fret bar shape here, that's a G minor, right? And then if you move directly down to the A minor shape, not playing the low E, that's a C minor. So you have two movable shapes you can really do a lot with. And as you get more comfortable with bar chords, and you know, as I'm talking, maybe this will be a good idea for a future episode. Chord progressions are just different ways you can put chords together that sound good. I've been giving you a lot of freedom to just find out what sounds good, and that's because I didn't learn formally. I learned that way, so can't teach you like a Juilliard scholar, unfortunately. But eventually you'll start finding combinations of major and minor chords that sound good. Maybe I can get into that at some point. Like, just give you a quick example. So, I'm not making you think too hard, but G major chord. So using the major E chord shape, bar on the 3rd fret, to a D minor, which would be A minor chord shape on the 5th fret. Quick example. But for now, just wanted to make sure I was comprehensive in the way I covered bar chords. The most popular bar chord shapes anyway. So for major bar chord shapes, E major and A major, and for minor, E minor and A minor. Those are the most popular bar chord shapes. And really it's just that open chord shape you already know, but it's using your finger to facilitate moving that shape all up and down the neck. So you get a wider feel for things, and you get a lot of strength in your hand from doing these. Even just showing these to you, and I've done these for years, I feel a little sore. So it's something to practice on. Your hand strength will improve with time. If you've been practicing diligently, you probably noticed that the tips of your fingers are getting little calluses on them. That's good. And a little trick that you would never think of. If you're finding your fingers are really, really tender, practicing bar chords or anything else, you can put a little rubbing alcohol on the tips of the fingers after you're done, and that toughens them up. Anyway, another episode of Strumming with Christopher. And I always have a lot of fun making these for you guys, and I'm really, really honored that I'm able to provide you the opportunity to learn guitar. It's something that has been a real big part of my life, and it was very, very important to me for a lot of years, and it still is. So I'm glad I can share what I know with you. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great week.